Let's go to the Real Madrid move, because even at the time, a lot of people said this, and there have been various reports about the fee. Later, one fee was reported. Later, some reports say as much as 130 million euros.
Yeah,
whatever the number was.
If it's 100 or 130, yeah, it's a lot of money with 1 year left on his contract.
He had a year left on his contract. You absolutely nailed that. That has got to go down as one of the worst deals that were ever done when you consider his age, some of his injury record, which had already manifested itself at that stage.
Yeah,
it just didn't make any sense whatsoever. It wasn't the quest for another Champions League, because they'd already won their decima at that point.
Yeah,
I think the 11th and the 12th one as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, because he won the 13th. He won. He got the medal.
How do we explain that?
So he says the injury against PSG in the Champions League, the Thomas Meunier tackle. I don't think Meunier means it. It's just Hazard is too quick. If you don't remember, Meunier is behind him and the PSG goal is behind him. He goes he's going to the left and goes right, and it's far too quick. And Meunier just hit him on the right ankle with his right leg. I think Meunier is trying to maybe get to the ball. I don't know, but he's just too quick. And this is obviously a terrible injury for him. An injury that I don't know if he was badly treated or if he didn't heal well or if the setback. But when you put Hazard has small feet, really small feet. And when you put a piece of metal, because that's what they had to do, because the injury was so bad, in the foot and the ankle, I don't think you ever get the same flexibility in the way your foot moves, the way you even probably feel the ball. And for me, I'm not trying to find excuses of why it didn't work out over 4 years because of that injury quite early on in his Real Madrid career. Because I think reported for your first ever pre-season at Real Madrid, overweight like he was not acceptable. And I think they never forgave him for it. It was all over the papers, which he was very surprised about. I remember talking to him about it. Because in England, every summer he was overweight and nobody was never said anything. But at Real Madrid, he took those proportions, and I don't think he ever recovered from it. And that's why I put in the piece I wrote for the website about Eden, is that I don't think Madrid overall, the media, the fans, the club, really forgave him about, hang on, we just spent 100 million on you and you come back 6 kilos overweight? No, this is the biggest club in the world. We don't do that here. And kind of that shows us that the lack of professionalism that you have is an issue here. I don't think he ever recovered from the battering that he got for it. And then the injury happened. And after that, I really wonder, Gab, if there was I don't think there was a way back, because his foot hurt him pretty much ever since.
Yeah. And look, it's one of those things where we're never going to know. We'll never have like the counter argument.
Yeah.
I do think that, players who have this tremendous athleticism, this speed, this flexibility, inevitably they generally have to adapt their game when they get older. Salah, again, a good example of that, right? To maintain the same levels of effectiveness.
I know,
right?
but he's 29, 30, 31, that old? It's not 35, 36.
No, but what I'm saying is at 28, you're not going to have the recovery time and the acceleration you're necessarily going to have earlier, right? You're going to have to... He had the technical ability to adapt and to become something else, right? And there's a reason we see Messi. We haven't just seen Messi walking around the pitch now. We saw Messi walking around the pitch when he was in his late 20s. Young Messi didn't do that, right? Mike, what we'll never know is, had he not been injured, would he have adapted? Because I think he would necessarily have needed to adapt. Because you can't ask him to be Vinicius, which is essentially, more technically gifted than Vinicius. But, that same first step, that same quickness, that same squirting out into spaces the way he did. He would have had to rely more on his vision, on his passing ability, which were both exceptional, and his ability in tight spaces to create space for himself.
He was convinced that La Liga was for him, really. And Real Madrid was the club he always wanted. That was his dream club. Zidane was the manager at the time, who was his idol growing up, of course. So he made so much sense for him. He didn't really care so much about the transfer fee and coming after Cristiano and wearing the number 7 and all of that. I don't think he cared about that. He really believed that was right. And the fact that he still He will live now in Madrid. He will stay in Madrid with his wife and the 5 children. Shows that I think he was happy there, happy in Spain, happy in Madrid. It's just on the pitch we never saw it, and it's really sad, I think.